Children's Minnesota is one of the largest freestanding pediatric healthcare systems in the United States, treating over 500,000 children each year. As a part of a continued effort to improve quality of care, Dr. Stefan Friedrichsdorf and clinical practice specialist Donna Ewell set out to address one of the biggest concerns of child patients: pain. Donna and Stefan first needed to decide where to focus their efforts.
We asked a lot of questions, but the leading question was, and we left it open-ended, in the last 24 hours, what's the single worst pain you've experienced here at the hospital? Hands down, kids said needles.
When I talk about needle pokes, we're talking about vaccinations, we're talking about drawing blood, we're talking about injections, we're talking about intravenous cannulation.
For kids, it's not about how long the procedure lasts, it's how long it takes them to recover. And what we know is every time we don't do that procedure well, the next procedure, their anxiety and their pain scores go up.
With a goal of reducing pain and improving patient satisfaction scores, they now look to identify vital behaviors. Reviewing the research, Donna and Stefan found that there were 4 things healthcare providers could do every time to reduce or even eliminate the pain from a needle stick.
That was always offering to numb their skin, using sucrose or breastfeeding with babies, distraction, and comfort positioning. So that means holding kids, right? Not holding kids.
Stefan and Donna set out to make these 4 behaviors, what they came to call the comfort promise, a reality. They knew it would be hard to change long-standing organizational practices, and they would need to draw on all 6 sources of influence. They started by connecting the behaviors to the values that the staff already had, the values that brought them to work in a children's hospital in the first place.
Shifting the perception that there's nothing we can do about this needle pain to, no, there's a lot we can do. We can pretty much eliminate that. Or shifting the opposite session, it's not a big deal. Yeah, you just have to do it quick and fast, just pin them down. It's also said, no, that's actually not true. It's a very big deal. And because people who work in a children's hospital, these are good people. Yeah, these are people who want to help children. Once this clicked, it really was a personal motivation for everyone. Okay, I don't want to be part of the problem, I want to be part of the solution.
While none of the 4 behaviors seem inherently hard or complicated, Stefan and Donna still invested in skill building.
We brought our dummies, and when there wasn't kids getting labs, we demonstrated how to properly position kids, how to help parents properly position kids. That was one of the big myths we had to bust, is our staff really believed parents did not know how to hold their children.
The team also knew that they would need to tap into social influences as well, and they started with formal leaders.
Some of the providers pushed back a little bit, like, yeah, we're not doing this. And that was when leadership drafted a letter, and it was signed by our chief nursing officer, our chief medical officer, our chief operating officer, our chief executive officer, all saying, this is best practice, and this is the new standard of care at Children's. These 4 things will be offered consistently with appropriate education. We will no longer hold kids down for elective procedures. We're better than that, and that's not how we do things here.
Donna and Stefan also knew they would need to use the power of informal leaders. They especially wanted to engage opinion leaders, those who would champion the change. So they took those leaders on a field trip.
I had one of the phlebotomists, who I adore and is our biggest champion now. She crossed her arms and she shook her head the whole time Stefan was chatting with them. And I just said, you know, it looks like you have a question. And she said, what I do works for me. I'm not changing. I have a 99.8% effective rate on the first stick. I'm not changing. And after we did that tour where she watched kids getting labs, not at her lab, but at the other campus, we came back and I said, so your current method works for you. How does it work for your patients, do you think? And the next day when she came back, she's like, it doesn't. It doesn't work for the kids. I stopped seeing them cry because I couldn't stand to watch it, right? And so you just kind of put up a shield. So that was a huge game changer for them. But what we hadn't thought out that worked out brilliantly is the same people who drew the labs outpatient were also the same people who drew the labs inpatient on all of the units. So we had this built-in group of champions now to go when we went into the med-surg units, which is the first place we implemented in the hospital.
As Donna and Stefan looked at structural influences, they didn't overlook source 5, but they found even more power in source 6.
We also made it tied to performance appraisals, and managers held staff to that. But as we talked to people, we realized you need orders for the cream. The sucrose was on all the units, but it was stored in a separate medroom way down the hall.
The new way had to be easier than the old way. Now everything is in the room. If you open the drawer, the distraction tools are going to be in there. So by simple changes, for instance, we just change on one day to the other our electronic medical record system. If somebody orders a blood draw, then automatically the numbing cream was coming up as an order. So clearly the adherence to having orders went from like 1% to about 99.5% within a few days by just changing the environment.
Children's Minnesota now offers their Comfort Promise to more than 200,000 children annually. It's been a tremendous success, and its influence is growing.
So now for many nurses, the stress of taking care of children who need to be consoled for many minutes has gone away. So that gives them more time to do important things.
Where previously, if we could get a 1% increase in those satisfaction scores, everybody did the happy dance, right? And we got 10 and 12% in 2 years.
Waiting time has gone down. Our staff turnover gone down.
I really feel like this is going to be standard of care within the next 5 years. Families will expect that this is just how it's done.